all right, you know what time it is. Neil Ratner here with a story. This past week, musician, singer, songwriter, philanthropist, and hunger activist Harry Chapin would have celebrated his birthday. So today, I thought I'd tell you a few things about Harry Chapin that you might not know. And as usual, a little background first. All right, so Harry was born in New York City, and he was the second of four children of legendary percussionist Jim Chapin. Now, Harry and his brothers all started playing music at an early age. And by the time Harry was a teenager, the Chapin brothers were performing as a group with their father occasionally joining them on drums. All right, now, in 1971, Harry and his friend Big John Wallace, a baritone with a 5-octave range who would later become his bassist, backing vocalist, and straight man, formed a band. And they began playing in various nightclubs in New York City. And they were good. And it didn't take them too long to get noticed. And a bidding war began between music biz heavyweights Clive Davis at Columbia and Jack Holzman at Elektra. Now, in the end, Chapin signed one of the biggest deals of its time with Elektra. A lot of freedom and, that kind of stuff. Okay. That same year, he released his debut album, Heads and Tails, which became an international success, selling over 1 million units, largely due to the top 25 hit single, Taxi. Great song. I posted it earlier in the week when I posted about Harry on his actual birthday. If you don't know it, check it out. He's a great storyteller, really good songwriter. The song was performed on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. How many of you remember that? You're showing your age. Which received so many phone calls that Harry returned the following night. And it was the first time in the show's history that a performer had been called back for the next night's show. How about that? Now, in 1974, Chapin released his most successful album, Verities and Balderdash. The album sold 2.5 million units, and it contained probably his most famous song, Cats in the Cradle. A song about a father who doesn't find time for his son during the boy's childhood, and ultimately, the son grows up to be just like the father, not making any time for his dad. And although the song's lyrics began as a poem written by Harry's wife and was inspired by the awkward relationship between her first husband and his father, it was also meant as a message for Harry about Chapin's relationship with his son. And as with most of Chapin's songs, there was a much deeper message about procrastination and missed opportunities. Again, if you're not familiar with Cats in the Cradle, absolutely check it out. Taxi, Cats in the Cradle. He had some great songs, Harry Chapin. Okay. Harry realized early on that his success could translate into social activism, and he was determined to make a difference in the world. Now, one of the problems Harry devoted himself to was hunger in America, co-founding the organization World Hunger Year with radio personality Bill Ayers. And more than half of Chapin's concerts were benefit performances, and proceeds from his concert merch were used to support World Hunger Year. And in addition, Harry donated an estimated 1/3 of his paid concerts to charitable causes, often performing alone with his guitar to reduce costs. There's a guy who put his money where his mouth was. Now, Ken Cragen, who I think died not too long ago, big-time promoter, who organized anti-hunger projects like USA for Africa and Hands Across America, had been Harry's manager at the end of Chapin's career, and has said that Harry was the inspiration for both benefit events, adding, "I felt like Harry had crawled into my body and was making me do it." We are the world, etc., etc. All right, now as a dedicated humanitarian, Harry was a key participant in the creation of the Presidential Commission on World Hunger in 1977, and in 1987, Chapin was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for his humanitarian work. In his short career, Harry recorded a total of 11 albums from 1972 until he tragically died in 1981 at the age of 38. And all 14 singles that he released became hits on at least one national music chart. The late, great Harry Chapin. You know, Harry was from Long Island, and he was a big Long Island supporter. Unfortunately, he died in a terrible, fiery crash on the Long Island Expressway. I think a semi hit the back of his Volkswagen Rabbit, which burst into flame, and he was helicoptered to Nassau County Medical Center, but it was too late, very unfortunate. The late, great Harry Chapin. If you're not familiar with his music, I'm telling you, check out a song or two, and you'll be very glad that you did. All right, that's my story for today. I'll have more stories as time goes on. And as I like to tell you, always remember to keep on rocking. All right, see you real soon somewhere. Bye for now.